All right, what's cracking, everybody? What's cracking? You see who's here? Today, we are going to talk to Gunner. Gunner will speak today and ask him a few questions. And hopefully, you guys enjoy the channel, the show, the video today. New video. All right, so what I want to do is I want to do it this way. Boom. There we go. Gunner, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
All
Same
right.
old beat goes on, like
All right.
like whispers.
There you go. So, like we discussed, I have a few questions for you, and we're just going to go down the line. I'm going to try to make sure you do all the talking. Maybe I'll get in there now and then, but uh, it's all about you right now and what you want to express. All right. So, right now, I want to know, what is your state of mind right now with all of this YouTube drama that's going on?
You know, it's hectic. I'm not gonna lie, it's hectic. There's a lot being said. At this point in my YouTube career, or what I've been doing on YouTube, I'm getting a lot of arrows shot at me, right? More than ever. You know, for 3 years I've been doing this YouTube thing now, and from day one it's been like this. I don't know if it was what I brought to the YouTube game, or you know what I intended to bring, but something rubbed people the wrong way and they felt some type of way. I don't know if it's, cloud. I hate to use that word because you can't get cloud off someone that doesn't consider themselves having cloud. So I never look at myself like I'm famous or YouTube famous or anything like that. So I don't see what the big deal is about me, pushing out my content, saying what I'm saying, doing what I'm doing, and having the agenda I have, which is the unity of the people for the people. I never came in with the intentions to hurt nobody, disrespect anybody, but along the path and along the yellow brick road, as I say, it seems that way. It seems people feel negatively impacted by my content, I guess. So how I feel at this moment, I feel not powerless, because you always have power. You always have the power to say what you're going to say and do what you're going to do. But I feel like I can't prevent anyone from saying what they want to say about me. That's the great thing and the bad thing about YouTube and any other social media platform, is that people have the right to speak on what they want to speak on, say what they want to say. It's up to the people that are listening, the subscribers, the supporters, the people that are being entertained, whether they grasp it and run with it and what they do with it. I myself, being a consumer of YouTube, even prior to being a content creator, my whole thing was listening to the spills, watching it for merely entertainment, and then pushing on. If I got a little lug out of it, a jewel, then I downloaded that in my CD-ROM, and that was good. But if not, it was just entertainment for myself. So how I feel right now is I feel with everyone. I hate to play the victim role, because that's never been me. I've never been that type of character to say, oh, what about me? Or, it is what it is. The proof is in the pudding. You could look and see for yourselves what's going on here. And it's not an agenda to shut me down. It's not an agenda to get me to quit YouTube. It's not none of that. What it is more so is a gaggle of people, a handful of people that behind the scenes have their own agenda, because they don't like me for one reason only, and that's because how quick I was able to accumulate subscribers, or how quick I was able to have my message felt. Now, I never asked to be, I'm not going to say number one in the genre, because I wasn't, and I've never been. There's people they got way more bigger channels. It's just a lot of people heard me. A lot of people grasped onto what I was saying, and they enjoyed the entertainment, the comedy, whatever I was bringing to the table, whatever I continue to bring to the table. And some people that rubbed them the wrong way, because maybe they don't have the same charisma or the same style, the same get down. So they felt that if for no other reason to slander my name and to push an agenda on me. And how does it make me feel? It makes me feel upset at times, not at any particular individuals, because I'm not going to give them enough, I'm not going to give them that they can do that to me. But it makes me upset with myself that I'm not able to avoid some of the situations that I find myself caught up in, because if you look up and down the line on my channel, you see my videos. I tell war stories, or, I speak some current news, and whatever the case is going on. I like to switch it up, for the subscriber, so they get a little bit of everything. And it seems that some people find flaws in every single thing that I do. If I eat menudo, it has to be out of a can. If I breathe air, it has to be tainted air. I mean, I can't do anything. And so I feel like alienated is the word, Dubs. That's how I feel, alienated right now. Like I have to push on solo bolo, but I do have a strong team around me. I do have strong friends, people I consider friends or brothers around me. And that keeps me pushing. But I do feel alienated, that a lot of people, especially in this genre that we're in or we're considered to be in, people don't know how to separate, what is entertainment and what is fun from gangs and prison politics and things of that nature. It always seems to become involved in the day-to-day talk or speak. And it just, to me, I just feel alienated. I don't feel I'm at a point where I'm going to tap out. I don't feel I'm at a point where I'm mad and I want to do something to somebody. And if that was to be done, that wouldn't be spoken on here, especially on your channel. I have my own channel to speak my feelings, but one thing I'll say for sure is just definitely alienated, but not broken, period.
All right. Now, here's the question that everybody's asking. Everybody wants to know. Why did you put out the video on Gil from American Cholo, and what was your state of mind when you did that?
Okay, so my state of mind was this. Earlier that morning was the first time that I heard about that there was some paperwork floating around. Whether it's real paperwork or not paperwork, I'm not here to dispute it. That's, I've said what I've said to Gil, apologized, and I'm going to leave it there. But it was told to me, I got on the phone, someone told me, hey, there's some paperwork floating around. This is what's being said, that he said, she said. And immediately my first instinct was, well, I want to see it. I want to see it. I've been around the block. I'm curious, just like anyone else would be. I couldn't believe it. This individual I was talking to, we couldn't believe it. Like, I've seen a lot of things with Gil, like people say narcissist or petty or whatever they say. And maybe I felt that way too at a time. But one thing, I never felt that he was a weirdo, a chomo or things like that. That never even crossed my mind. I would never even put him in that category. So when someone spoke on that and they said, hey, this is what's going around, I said, well, I want to see it just like anyone else. And so over a course of a couple hours, there was a lot of conversations going on behind the scenes with certain individuals. It was sent to me. And I did a once over. I looked at it and I remember telling the guy I was talking to on the phone, wow, man, I can't believe this. If this is true, this hurts, this hurts him. This hurts the raza. This hurts a lot of people. So what am I going to do with this? And the person that I was talking to on the phone, I consider him more of an advisor. He's grounded. He has a good state of mind at all times, right? So me and him got to conversate, and he said, well, maybe instead of just putting it out there, you should, and jumping the gun, we should call him or try to get a hold of him. Now, for you guys, I don't know who's put it out there. For you guys that believe that me and Gil have conversations behind the scenes, I have never once in my life, in my entire life, spoken to Gil on the phone. It's not happened, right? We've never had a conversation on the phone man to man. Just never happened. We felt how we felt about each other in the past. There was no reason to conversate. There was no reason to collaborate. There was no reason to start a feud or anything. Whatever we had was authentic and real. And there was no reason to come. And now we're both grown men. And I'm sure if it got to a certain point, we would pick up the phone. And we know a lot of the same individuals. So we know a lot of the same people that we can get in correspondence if we needed to. But that was never the case. I never talked to Gil. He never reached out to me that I know of. And I never reached out to him. But anyways, so after a couple hours of having this paperwork in my possession, and I was being told that other channels were dropping it. They were on the cusp of dropping it. They were on the verge of dropping it. And me being me, trying to get the breaking news, because that's what we do as content creators. You know yourself, Dubs. The whole mission in this is to break some news. And if you can go viral or drop some, whether it be heated content or debatable content, it's still content, And this was something that was, although I should have sat down and did my due diligence and really looked at it, I think a little bit of my pride, my ego, and also a little bit of not liking the individual played into it. A little bit of everything, So what happened was me and the person that I talked to, we decided that we would reach out to Gil and let him know what was being said and what we had, because I wasn't sure if he had the heads up. Now, at the same time, simultaneously, I guess this thing was going on with Whack 100, where Whack 100 was pulling up allegedly to his doorstep and doing all that, right? I wasn't aware of that at the time. I wasn't aware of it. I don't watch YouTube like people think I do. So I wasn't tripping on what Whack 100 had going on at that point. I wasn't aware of how heated and how real it was getting between himself and Gil. Last I heard, they had some words, and that was that. Whack has words with everyone, so it's no big deal. And so, anyways, I wasn't aware that the state of mind Gil was in. I was only thinking about myself, and that's true. That's to be real. And so what I decided to do was have a conversation with him, try to get a hold of him and let him know, hey, apply the pressure. Hey, look, this is what I got. This is what's being said. I don't know whether it's true or not. I could care less. But at the same time, this is what I have. The next time you speak on me or say anything about me, bro, then I'm going to have to go ahead and let this be known. I can't speak for other people. If they decide to drop things and do whatever they do, that's on them. But I'm saying for myself, this is what I was going to give him the heads up, basically, is what I should have done. About 10 minutes prior to the video being dropped, I get a phone call. Hey, they've already dropped it on the full. I don't know. It's not the full community. What is it, Dubs? It was the full.
I think it was the Fool's World or something like
Fool's
that.
World or whatever it was, right? Which I got mixed up with the full community, Spencer, full community. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But it's like, hey, it's being dropped. There's another individual about to go live on Instagram, do his thing. There's about, a lot of people. It was coming. So I said, I got to beat you guys to the punch like Mary Wells, right? So I recorded my video. Now, if you really dissect my video and look at it, I'm saying in my video, I don't know it to be absolutely fact or true. I might have used the word fact here and there, and that's my bad, but I absolutely was flabbergasted and couldn't believe that it was true, and I said, and if it is true, it's a bad look, and it was more rubbing it in the wound. I'm not going to lie. That's how I felt at that time. Like, okay, fuck me, no, fuck you. Right. This is how it is. And that was my bad. And subsequently, that's why I apologize. But that was my mind state. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to add preservatives. My mind state was initially I wanted to bring it to him, which I should have in the first place, because then he would have, we could have came to the understanding that it was fake. But again, like I said, there's other people out there that believe it to be true. Some believe it to be fake. It's always going to be questioned. I just want to let the people know, because everyone's like, Gunner this, Gunner was the first one, Gunner was that. Gunner wasn't. I actually second or third on that. It's just my voice. I have a bigger platform than some. So it was, of course. But I take that. I'm a rock with it. I apologize to Gil. He accepted the apology. Again, we have had no conversations in the cuts. And I'm not going to say that. But he publicly accepted the apology. I publicly apologize. For those of you that believe, oh, you apologize to save face or save subscribers or do that, that's not the case. I did it because that's what was right. I was wrong and he was right. And that's how I felt. Whether the paperwork is real or not, I'm not here to dispute it. Like, I'm not here to say none of that. I'm here to say I shouldn't have put it out there. It was not my place. I should have did my due diligence, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, my next question was going to be, why did you feel the need to apologize?
No, and I'll elaborate. I felt the need to apologize because it's the right thing to do, Dubs. See, you and myself, having been in prison and having been involved in the streets and anything, what's right is right, bro, and what's wrong is wrong. We know that. A real man will stand on his 10. If you're quick to stand on yours and take fades and do this and woof and expose people and do all that, then you have to stand on your toes the same way in the reverse, right? If you're wrong, you're wrong. And that's the true measure of a man. A man will say, you know what? If you're quick to smut people up and say things, and well, if you're wrong, man, don't sweep it under the rug and just say, oh, well, it is what it is. I said it. Let's fight. Nah, it's none of that. That's not cool. You're not cool. You're so cool. I'm going to call you a culo. You're not cool. What's cool and what's real is being a real man and saying, you know what? I truly apologize. I was in the wrong. And it didn't take people to let me know that or to woof on me or for Gil to do his live and say what he said. I had to do some self-reflection, and I was like, why did I do that? Not only does it go against what I believe in, not only does it go against what I usually do, regardless of what people say about me, truly, man, once I took into account what he was going through with WAC 100, pulling up to his doorstep, the state of mind and what that's a whole different situation in itself, right? I didn't think about his feelings or his family's feelings or what this could possibly get him in a wreck or anything like that. I was thinking selfishly. And so I felt that I had to sit down as a man and apologize, and not apologize behind the scenes. Like I said, I could have easily reached out to someone that could reach out to someone that could reach out to me. That's easy. But I felt that I made what I spoke on publicly, I needed to apologize publicly.
I feel that. I've always believed that myself. Whoever you disrespect somebody in front of, you should apologize in front of as well. Exactly. I've never agreed with that. Let me do something out in the open and then apologize in the dark. So exactly. I hear you on that.
So that's why I did that. There was no agenda, no pretending, no faking. What I said was the truth, man, that I sincerely apologize. I didn't take into account him, his family, those around him, his friends. I acted selfishly. I acted, although I acted recklessly. Let's just say that. And that was it. And that's just plain and simple, man. I'm going to be a man. Regardless of what people think or say about me, that's the truth. My motivation was, honestly, having been where I've been in my life, that was a dumb move. That was a hasty move to judge someone or mischaracterize their situation for my benefit. So I had to apologize. I had to because I wanted to.
Okay. Now, I know the answer to this, and I get the brunt of a lot of these next two questions, but we're going to go with this one. Do you feel that you are one of the most hated content creators on YouTube?
Within our genre, I do. I believe I'm the most hated. And I don't know why, right? YouTube's big. YouTube is a lot bigger than just us. Okay. There's millions of content creators from all over the world. In every genre, every different aspect of material that gets put out there, everything gets scrutinized closely, and someone always has fucking something to say, right? Some people are just built like that. They're negative and they see that they're pessimistic, or they're not optimistic, they're pessimistic. They see the glass half empty rather than half full. And instead of thinking positively, they try to dissect and pick apart everything that you say, right? Because they don't agree, or maybe they do agree, but the way they carry themselves makes them, they have an image to uphold to not agree. That's just the way. You can't change people in the way they are. Now, a lot of people are, damn, Gun, you're the most hated. You're the most hated. Within our genre, I believe truly I am. And I think everyone's starting to recognize that now. At some points it was like, he's not the most hated. But now I see bigger content creators like, oh, hell yeah, he's the most hated. I've been hated on for 3 years straight now, man. Or hated. Not hated on, but hated for 3 years straight. And I can't seem to figure out why. People might have the assumption because of some of the jewelry I wear, the way I dress, that I have this crazy ego or I think big about myself. Nah, I'm just trying to, be presentable. I've always been like that prior to YouTube. The way I speak and the verbalization that I use, I've always been like that, man. I wasn't taught this. I just adapt to my surroundings and speak how I speak. And I can see how that could rub people the wrong way. A lot of people that can't identify with my lifestyle, how I grew up, they're either one or two things. They're either curious or they don't like me. There's never been no in between. There's never been riding the fence with me. There has been now a lot lately, but prior to that, there has never been that. It's either you love me or hate me. And, initially I came into YouTube and a lot of people said, wow, this is different. This guy tells his stories. He adds comedy to it. He adds a flair. He brings back some of the old school movies and music, and they like it. They like it. It takes you back to tapes and CDs and shit, right? Walkmans and bell bottoms. But I'm not doing it to hurt other people or to shit on other people's content or to say I'm better than them or their content's less than. Everything that I've done, I've worked hard for. You know how it is being a content creator, Dubs. We wake up early. We have to think about the next spill, and it's sometimes hard. It's sometimes hard to come up with for the day, entertain the people, and then you have to make everybody happy, and you have to thread that line because you can't upset these people or upset those people, and and it becomes a hard task. I know to some people it seems like, it's just a quick video, but there's a lot that goes into that. And somewhere along the line, and not even along the line, right from the gate, I had the group that hated me and the group that didn't. And it seems like the group that hates me is becoming more abundant. It's becoming more in numbers. And I noticed
I personally don't agree with that.
Okay.
I believe it's the same people with multiple accounts.
Okay.
Myself.
Yeah, maybe that. And yeah.
And not to interrupt you, but I can say this: a lot of the negative, I think as content creators, you have to admit we get way more love than hate, no matter what. Okay, but I will say this: the negative comments that I get, it's pretty funny. It's pretty amazing. I would say 90% of the negative comments that I get are about you. It's not about my videos. It's not about what I've said. It's about you. And I don't get it because it's like, for one, I can't understand how people get so emotionally invested in people they've never met. How people pick sides and do all it's crazy to me. But like, why would anybody go to you to ask about me? Or why would anybody go to my channel to ask about you? So that's why I know, me personally, I'm like, damn, they really do hate this Vato, for whatever their reasons are. But it's it's just a trip. So go ahead, Holmes. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to put that in because I get I get a lot of negative comments that are directed to you, but they're on my channel.
And what's so upsetting, Dubs, and I spoke on it yesterday in the spill, but what's the most upsetting to me is not the hate I get. I've adapted. I've grown thick skin. You have to have thick skin to have a YouTube channel, I'm used to it. Let's just say I'm used to it. It is what it is. It's going to be what it is. I can't control the next man. Although I would love to, speak to them personally and ask why. That's never going to happen. But one thing I know for sure is, and this is facts, the thing that hurts me the most in this situation is the fact that those who I have around me or that I'm cool with, like yourself, get the negativity and the hate directed towards them because of me. And that makes me feel like shit. That makes me feel bad because I can't prevent it. There's nothing I could do about it. And I know there's a concept and a goal behind that. It's called divide and conquer, like the video I did yesterday in American Cholo spoke on so eloquently, right? Divide and conquer, meaning if I could divide them, then I conquer, right? Then I feel I've won. But like I said, there's a lot of dividing going on, but no conquering. So you can't conquer someone who's never going to bow down or break. The conquering, you might win the battle, but not the war, right? So my thing is, when people are going at you or other people because of me, the whole intention of that, Dubs, is not because they hate you or they want to belittle you, although they do get a little too personal. But the whole thing behind that is because they want to get in between. If we can upset Dubs enough that where he gets tired of it and he just says, you know what, I'm cool messing with this guy, they've accomplished their goal, right? But some people are a little bit stronger than others. Some people see it for what it is, but that's, I'm not dumb enough to not understand exactly what intentions are and how people play the game, I just sit back and let the roll with the punches, let it play out as it may. But as far as being the most hated, I absolutely believe I am the most hated in the genre. And I believe that's because I have achieved numbers and I have achieved things that people want to achieve and they absolutely can achieve by just putting in hard work and staying humble and being real. I've told people, anyone that's ever asked me for help, I've helped them. Anyone, you could attest to that, Dubs. Anyone that asks me, I help them. And a lot of those people that I've helped, you've helped, we've helped in the past, have turned around and spit in my hand and turned on me because they weren't able to achieve the numbers that they thought they were going to. I can't do your content for you. I can't speak for you. I could only tell you how I did it. If it works differently for you, hey, so be it. It's just fucking YouTube. It's not a big deal, Sometimes you try something in your life and you're good at it and it works for you, and sometimes you don't. And what you do in life is you press on as a man or a grown woman. You press on and find something that you're good at and find something that you enjoy, and you'll have a happier life and a happier family. But when you turn it into something negative and you're mad at the next man because you couldn't achieve what he did or whatever the reason may be, it might not even be that. You just don't like him. When you wake up in the morning, you don't like the way he looks. Then then whatever you choose to do in the short term, it might work, but in the long term, it never does. And that's just it. But yeah, to answer your question, I believe I am the most hated, and I'll never know why, but it's not going to stop me.
I feel it is part of it is success, because I really believe this, and this is a trip, and then I'll go to my last question next.
Mhm.
I honestly believe the two most disliked, hated, whatever you want to call it, whatever word you want to use, creators in our genre are actually you and Gil.
Yeah.
From what I see in the comments, even on my channel, it seems like the two of you are the most disliked, and the two of you are two of the biggest and most successful platforms. That's a trip. So, anyways, my last question is this, and I don't know if you even want to speak on this, but my last question is: how do you feel about the people who have turned on you, who were once cool with you? And I'll say this before you even answer, and I'll ask it again. It's a trip because there are people that I've never met in my life. You've met them. I haven't. And they turned on me. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know you from nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's a trip to me, but I don't have any time invested in those people, and so it doesn't, to me, it's like, it's nothing to me, right? It's kind of funny to me. But for you, because you have broke bread with some of these people, you have spent money with them, on them, you had good times with them. So how do you feel about those people turning their back on you now?
It's the way of the world, huh? I have nothing bad to say about any of them. They'll always hold a place in my heart and in my life, because we had that moment in time together. We chilled. We considered each other friends outside of YouTube. But although some of us met through YouTube, we were able to go outside of YouTube, kick it. I brought some of my old school friends from my life into their lives and introduced them, and vice versa. And I don't understand. I don't understand how people could be manipulated or have an agenda. I don't know if it's hate or if it's jealousy or if it's something totally different, or it's just people misguided them or confused them or was able to. And if you give someone the power to manipulate you, then that's not a friend I want. It's not a friend I need, because I want to keep some righteous people around me that can't be easily manipulated, especially by a person who's going to kick his feet up, light that cigar, and laugh at everybody, yourself included. So in the beginning, I was hurt, and I think by some, a little bit more than others. Some I seen it coming. Some I was always skeptical about. I fed them with the long-handled spoon, but I was still cool, man. I still never disrespected them, wolf behind their back, did the two-face thing, didn't never do that. And there was some that, I was just real close with. I considered the fellas, a friend, not even a homeboy, a friend. And they chose to move on, and each man is entitled to do what they want, How do I feel about it? It happens, man, in life. And maybe that's what's best for everybody. For whatever their reason, that's a question you would have to ask them, Dubs, because I don't know. To be honest with you, I can't call it like an alcoholic. You know what I mean? I really don't know why. A lot of this stuff happened like that. Just boom, boom. Guys are falling off everywhere. I can't fuck with you because of this. I can't fuck with you because of that. And it's like, but nothing changed. You were still messing with me prior to what changed, Well, this guy said this and that guy said that. Yeah, but didn't you say this about that guy a couple of days ago to me? I just didn't understand, right? There was a whole lot of stuff I just didn't want to be involved in. So I said, the best thing for me to do is, okay, if that's the way you want it, cool. I'm not going to sit here and beg and plead and argue with you over your decision. You've made your decision. It's written in stone. I'm going to push on. It's not worth me stressing over, and it's definitely not worth me stressing them out over, because regardless of how anyone feels about me that I broke bread with, I'll always have that love for them, right? No matter how they feel about me. But one thing I have noticed, Stubbs, and this is a trip, maybe you could attest to this, is, and it's been like this even when I was involved in gangs and everything, is there's a lot of picking and choosing. Well, I'll be mad at you, Gunner, for hanging around this individual. But although, Dubs, you hang around with that individual too, I won't be mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Gunner, you
Yeah.
can't hang with that guy because that's against your morals. But Dubs, you can, and I'm cool with it. You know, I don't
Well, that's
understand. It's
that's like when I heard I keep hearing these people say guilty by association, guilty
mm,
by association, and listen, I have my way of interpreting things. I have my way of viewing things. That's what makes us all different. You know what I'm saying? But when I hear this whole Dubs, you're guilty by association, and I'm like, okay, hold on. Where does that's a slippery slope, first of all. Where
mm,
does that line stop? Where's the line drawn on guilt by association? There are people who have people in their family who have done some foul shit. So are you guilty by association? There are people that grew up with homeboys and they have homeboys from their barrio that they've never met, but they're from the same neighborhood. Are you guilty by association? That goes back to the picking and choosing.
yeah.
When people throw that term out there, I always laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be careful because those people saying that, I'm sure they have people in their past, people in their family, whatever it may be, that have done something where they don't want to be guilty by association of that, but yet they turn around and throw that shit out there. I don't know. To me, it's just hilarious. But anyways, back to you.
Yeah,
I just had to say that.
and that's just it's just what it is. So as far as people turning their back or moving on, I don't look at it as turning their back. I just look at it as it's moving on. Different times. We're on two different paths in life. I wish them all the best. I'm never gonna spit an ill word. A lot of people, Gunner, we know this about you. We know this about you. We know this about you. Well, there's a reverse to that. I know a lot about other people too, but I'm not going to speak on it. Why? And this is not a threat, and I'm not throwing subliminals, none of that. This is being real because that's not my style, man. And I'm just not going to do it, period. And I'm going to stick to the grave with that. It's what it is.
All right. Well, shit. This is probably my longest video ever, and I hardly spoke. But anyways, man, thank you for this. Hopefully this is eye-opening to some people. They hear what they needed to hear. It came from you, came from your heart. There's also gonna be people that are gonna say, "Oh, Dubs, you used your platform to let that vato lie." I mean, I tell you all the time, man. The people that love you are gonna love you. The people that hate you, it doesn't matter what you do. They're always gonna hate you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, what people think of you, what people think of me, doesn't change who I really am or who you really are. You know what I'm saying? So we can't live our lives trying to please people that we could never please. We just got to go about our lives doing the right things. So with that said, everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. We're out.
Bang, bang.